We'll be talking about a couple of weeks ago. Malinda came back to Ireland for another little visit, and I met up with him for a couple of days. I think he was here from. Hello, welcome back to Al Talks. This podcast I started 3 years ago to chronicle me starting stand up. This podcast is a weekly podcast. It comes out once a week, and this is just a small little introduction video into the podcast. So down below in the description of each episode, you can go to my Linktree and find links to everything connected to me. This podcast is available on YouTube, which you're watching on right now, and also on Spotify. But yeah, that is just a small introduction into this podcast and everything that goes along with it. Hello and welcome back to Al Talks podcast with me, world-renowned comedian. Although I have gone international with comedy. But yeah, so today's episode we'll be talking about a couple of weeks ago. Malinda came back to Ireland for another little visit, and I met up with him for a couple of days. I think he was here for 3 days, and we met up. Now, let me think now. I don't think I did shows that week, but on the Monday, because I was off work still, I went over and did shows, which I'll talk about in a different episode, because I'm bulk recording a couple of videos, and they will be pretty much the videos towards the end of the year, so you won't really hear anything new from me till next year. There's some weird feedback loop in this audio. I don't know what it is. Hello. I don't know what it is. Hopefully it sounds okay. I think it does. But yeah, so Melinda's been. We met I think just as he moved to Ireland, we met at Stitches' Gong Show, which I probably had the worst bombing ever in my life at the time. Well, at the time it was anyway. I've gotten way worse one since. Great success. But yeah, so we met that night, and over the period that he was living in Ireland, which is about 3 years, because, the comedy scene in Ireland, while it is thriving and vibrant, it is also quite small. So you do run into the same people over and over again, which is great. It's good to have a scene. It's good, of course, good to have a scene. But yeah, so over the years, meeting Malinda, and then I got to perform at his club, NTO Dublin. There's also NTO Vienna, which is a great lineup of comics next year. If you're in Vienna, Austria, you should definitely check it out. Links to all of Malinda's stuff is down below as well. His debut special, I'm Not a Drug Dealer, has also been released on YouTube, which I have links down to below if you want to check it out. And also, Melinda's been a guest on this podcast, so you could check that out too. The special is very, very good. Now, I saw all the work, pretty much nearly all the work in progress for the special I saw, and basically saw it being built up from the ground up, and it was very, very interesting to kind of see the full finished product and how the process that goes into doing a comedy special, which is very interesting to me, because I will be doing it in the future, hopefully. But that is kind of a little bit on Malinda. It was a great weekend, because as I know, what did we do? Met up with couple of comedians, because that weekend was good as well, because there was a couple of comedians over from England that had moved over, and then there was one comic actually around the same time. I met Malinda, Donald Vaughan, who has been touring non-stop all around the world, living out of a suitcase for the last 3-4 years. And it was great to meet him, get his perspective from doing shows in different places. Donald has done a lot of comedy around Southeast Asia and Australia, I think New Zealand as well, or I don't think he did New Zealand. But so it was interesting to kind of get his point of view on different comedy scenes around the world and stuff like that, which is very interesting. And then, like, one of the reasons I do really enjoy comedy is because I get to meet so many good comedians and people. And when we get, because there's I am sick. There's a bar downstairs from one of the comedy clubs, the Crackdown, and usually a lot of the comedians that perform at the Crackdown after the shows would come down and hang out. So a lot of the days that's what was happening. We were all sitting down there. The comedians would finish their shows and we all come down and hang out, which was great fun, really enjoyable stuff. Because once I think I mentioned it before, but once you get like a table full of comedians talking, it is one of my favorite things, because it's just non-stop jokes. It's very, very funny and it's great entertainment. Definitely one of my favorite things about comedy, hanging out with comics after shows. Very, very enjoyable. Like I said, I'm bulk recording stuff. I'm also finished shows for the year. I'll talk about that more in the end of year comedy review that I usually do, which will be coming out a week before, basically the last week of this year, which has been it's been interesting to say the least. A lot of new things have developed, both in my personal life and in comedy. So we'll talk about that then. Not so much in the personal stuff, because that's none of your business. What else did I want to say? Yeah, it was good to see Malinda, but it'll be a while before get to meet up with him again, because he will not be. Well, I'm planning to travel a bit, so next year hopefully. We'll see how things work out. It'd be great. It would be really fun to travel a bit. I'm trying to think of something else now. I can't. Is there anything else I can? No, I mean, like, yeah, it was just hanging around with Linda and other comedians for pretty much the weekend. I was there for a couple of days, and I was there from Thursday till Tuesday, so I did over the weekend, didn't do any shows, but then afterwards I did hold on. Did I do this wrong? No, I don't think so. I'm looking in my notes here, and I'm trying to figure out I think I might have done that wrong. Oops. Okay, well, we'll add to that. This is a mistake. Well, so the episode I talked about, Can't believe I looked over that one. Oops. But you know what? Fuck it. We'll put it into the two things. I've just realized something. Whatchamacallit. Yeah, so what I've realized is that Malinda has been back 2 times, and I was supposed to talk about both, but I've already written out the schedule for the end of the year, so I'm just going to pile the 2 times into the one episode. So the first time he came over, it was pretty much the same. The first time was like Thursday till Monday, and then the second time was Friday till Saturday. So the first time I had done a show at I'm kind of mixed up now on this. Give me a second. Okay, so it seems I didn't really make a mistake, because I didn't write down in the notes that episode 186, because at the moment I'm recording this episode, which is 189, which I have already covered this already, so panic over. Just didn't write it in the thing. But yeah, it's like I said, it was great to see Malinda. Hopefully go out to Vienna next year, because like I said, N2O Vienna, which is the comedy club Malinda started all the way back, it's 6 years old, 7 years old. Has a great lineup of amazing comedians next year, shows that he will be producing, so maybe get out there and see that. I'm going to try and see if I can go over there. Should be fun. And that will be all for this episode, I think. Like I said, I'm kind of bulk recording one, so you won't really hear from me till next year about news and stuff like that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks for listening. All links down below as per usual, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.